Everyone, hello and welcome to Sebring Short RX. This is going to be a custom-made RX inspired by the real-life Sebring track, but the short version of the track, and we RXified it a little bit. And you might also notice there's some hog action. Yeah, this is the first hog race on the season. Might be a couple others. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'd say probably at least one more for sure. And then we'll go from there. So not 100% sure yet, but we'll see. Yeah, going through the layouts, nothing too crazy. Pretty small and simple RX layout. But yeah, with a few things added to give it that RX flair and kind of spice it up a little bit. This whole whoop section in the end. Let's see how the drivers navigate that. Turning action is going to be really tricky. But yeah, 20 laps on this one. 2 jokers, and no jokers allowed on the first lap. But after that, you can take them whenever. Just got to get 2 in before the end of the race. Starting order here, right to left, is going to be Luke, then Soul, Slaunch, and Detail, Blake and Hunter, Camby and Roman, and then iPod and Coop. So iPod and Roman both returning this week. Nade out. And we're green. Oh, wow. Big cheese for Hunter already. That is brutal. Yep, that's going to hurt Hunter's race a lot for sure. Not the start he was hoping for. Close battle for third here. It's Slunch and Detail, I believe, duking it out for third. And Soul going for, oh, a little bit of wall contact there. Soul going for an interesting strat. Picking a maybe, you know, seeming like the least preferred line. Well, maybe not the case because that works out really well for him. He's off to a good start, leading the race, leads the first lap down. So Joker's now allowed. They'll come into play. We'll see if anybody goes for an early Joker strat. What is this 3 wide action in the back? Yes, one driver does. Duh. I was going to say they have a 3 wide, maybe. No. No other driver goes. It's just one. Let's see how this works out for them. Trying to figure out who it is. Okay, it's Blake. Get a good look at the Joker there. And as you can see, he's going to get some clean air. We'll see how long it lasts, but he's going to get some clean air off that because it is a slow Joker, and it is very slow. The gap on it, if you look at the Joker and look at the other line, it seems like it probably wouldn't be that much slower, but it's quite a bit slower. So yeah, definitely going to change up your position quite a bit, and you got to be kind of careful with that, right? Like you're not really... it's kind of a hard one to judge. The Jokers with the bigger gaps, it's always a little bit harder to judge like where you're going to pan out exactly. So Slaunch definitely goes in for one there. I think I see Hunter. Looks like Hunter. So Blake went for one Joker already. Well, now Slaunch is going to do it. This is going to be close. Maybe come out behind Camby, I think. And Hunter going to come out in last still. That early cheesing, I think, with Slaunch. And he's... Oh, one driver goes down here. What happened there? Not sure who that was. We'll have to try to get a look at it here. So there's Soul and Luke battling for first and second. There's Detail third. I don't think it's any of them. It's got to be one of these guys, right? No? Oh, right there. It's iPod. iPod gets loose. Goes down. Let's take a look at this. So it just gets all kinds of unsettled here. And yeah, that's not gonna work out. Nice save, actually. He keeps it going. That was actually a really big save.
Lap complete.
So nice job out of iPod there to recover. Obviously, still gonna lose some time, but I mean, it could have been way worse. Yeah, interesting watching this race, and interesting racing it as well. Like, it's been a while since we've been on the Hogs. You know, the Hogs, it wasn't a pure 50-50 split in the short track showdown. It wasn't a pure 50-50 split in the Mega Mix either. But there was still, like, the Hogs were pretty prominent in those series. They're pretty frequent. Yeah, definitely racing the Gooses more this year than the Hogs, but still racing the Hogs enough to, like, kind of, I don't know, not for it to not be too big of an adjustment. when we go to the hogs. But for this race, I think it's a lot different. It's been months since any of these guys have raced on the hogs. So I think that's going to make things, I think it's going to shake things up quite a bit. Another Joker coming in here. Not sure who that is. Find out in a moment here. It is, I believe, Coop. Oh, look at the gaps. Yeah, look at that. That's the top 3 right there. So yeah, with those early Jokers, look at how stretched it's gotten, and the top 3 battle's getting pretty close here. See if they go for anything, because they're getting really close with each other. Maybe somebody goes for something.
Complete.
Not yet. But Luke's now gotten pretty close to the bumper of Soul, and Detail's not too far off of Luke either, so might have a good 3-way battle here. And Soul having a good run of it so far. You know, he had his best week of the season last week, and you know, got a win, got a top 3 overall, and right now he's running in really good position in this race as well. And it's kind of a similar formula to what he did last week as well, taking the heat win and then just having like a really good position from there and taking advantage of it. Well, he got a heat win here. He's in good position early in the race, and maybe Luke could look to the inside, but no, Soul, really good momentum. And here we go. Yeah, Luke going to go for the Joker. He's going to be the first one to bite. Detail and Soul going to stay out. First one to bite in that top 3. That's Roman running in 4th right there, and that's what might be close with Luke. And we have another Joker take a look at that in a moment. There it is. Okay, yeah, so Luke comes out behind Roman for sure. But Roman, I believe, is on no Jokers currently as well. Oh, wow. Big contact right there. That's Blake. So we saw Blake do his first earlier, so that was Blake's second Joker. And I think a lot of these guys in that backpack have ran both Jokers, but I think there's a good mix in the field of people that have ran one, have ran both, and haven't taken any. It's going to be interesting to see here. This could be important for the race. Luke behind Roman, does that affect either of them at all? Especially when, you know, they're trying to, Luke's trying to make a move for that top 3. Roman, this is on-track position. Again, he hasn't taken a Joker, so he's definitely not in that top 3 battle. But he doesn't really care about that, right? He's not gonna try to make anything easy for Luke here. It's not gonna give Roman any opportunities. Oh, Roman gets really loose in the whoops. There, that's what I'm saying. And that might affect it a little bit. So we'll have to see how this strategy plays out. And they'll be pretty close. Like if Detail or Soul goes for it, where do they come out in regards to Roman right now? Because it could be pretty close to them too. But Detail's staying out. And he's slowly but surely. Oh, there we go. Is that Luke going for another one, or is that Roman? I think that was Roman going for his first, I believe, right? Yes, Roman going for his first.
Complete.
Gonna come out behind, just behind Camby, yeah. And we'll keep an eye out on it, because again, you can have some on-track battles. We actually had some pretty good on-track battles in the heat race, especially the second heat with Luke and Saunch. Really good on-track battle there. There's potential for it on this track, but it is kind of a hard track to do that on. There's definitely ways to make up time. Here we go. Detail gonna go for it. But actually battling and actually making a pass can be pretty difficult. So I think this is a Joker strategy race. I mean, obviously it's always going to be important in these RX races, but in this one, maybe the most important of any of the RX races that we've done so far. Let's see how it plays out too, because RX has been really competitive too. RX has been really competitive this season. In terms of the point standings, in terms of the results, like it's been the most competitive of the 4 series that we run. Like even more so than Terrain Oval probably, which sounds weird to say, but it kind of has been. Like RX has been kind of all over the place. But yeah, I think this one's the most Joker strategy dependent race of any of the RX ones we've done so far. Again, just because this track, there are definitely gains to be made, but it is big gopher action for Luke in the downhill, something we haven't seen yet, and that's potentially a big moment in the race right there. Detail's gonna take that spot, and then how does that work out? You know, have they made gains on Soul staying out, not taking a Joker yet? Like that could be a big moment in the race right there. I want to say a lot of these guys are maybe one remaining, or I think most of them are cleared. So I want to say most people towards the back are clear. Luke and Detail both have one more to take. Soul has two. I think Camby and Roman might both have one apiece, possibly. I want to say, because, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think they do. And then I think Slaunch right there is, I want to say, the leader of the drivers that have both done currently. I think that's kind of the Joker update for you right now. So that was Roman. Roman comes out in front of most of this pack, but behind Slaunch. Because again, I think that's what it is. I think Slaunch is the leader right now of the drivers that have done both Jokers. So Camby right here still has one more to take, and Roman was battling with Camby, so I'd assume Camby will, whenever Camby takes his, he'll be in a similar spot with Roman and will come out behind Slaunch for sure. But Slaunch actually has a pretty big gap to Luke in Detail, so we'll have to see. Well, oh yeah, that's Camby, yeah. So yeah, it is a pretty big gap. So I don't know if Slaunch will be in this podium fight. We'll have to wait and see. Because the top 3 gap has actually opened up quite a bit in this one. Close battles in the back there. The chicane. I want to see Soul. I want to see Soul take this first Joker. I'm feeling like he might take it here. It's got to be coming soon. It's got to be coming soon. Oh, almost a moment there for Detail. Holds on to it. That first turn, you can really carry some momentum there, but it's kind of risky. You can really get the tire lift, and we saw the gopher for Luke in the downhill. But there's a lot of bumps in this track that aren't really like that. That are like pretty well defined bumps that you can kind of send it into them in the hogs, and in the hogs are usually pretty nice about it. It's usually not too sketchy, but they can get a little sketchy, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen anybody go down in the first turn yet. I kind of expected to see some drivers go down in that first turn, but we haven't really seen that yet. Yeah, because I think that first turn is kind of like underratedly sketch. It's a little more spooky than it looks. Soul do it yet? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Soul still holding out on those Jokers. So still plenty of strategy left to play out. And Detail, meanwhile, after the go for cheese, he's opened up a pretty decent gap, taking full advantage of it. He's trying to get away from Luke here because Detail might be in a good position now to potentially win this race, depending on how the strategy works out with Soul. I think it's probably, with the flip happening with Luke, I think it's probably going to be between Detail and Soul now, and we'll just have to wait and see when these Jokers come in, how it's going to work out. Luke's going to go for the Joker early, and now here we'll get an idea, where does he come out in relation to... Okay, there you go, that makes sense. So Camby takes his Joker right there as well. So Camby and Luke both taking their final Jokers, and right there, yep, Luke's going to be now the leader of the drivers that have both completed. And there it is, Slaunch. I believe Slaunch and Roman, and Camby comes out quite a ways behind them. So yes, that really worked out for Roman, because Roman was close with Camby, but now battling with Slaunch, and we have some good battles there. It's Blake and Hunter battling. It's Slaunch and Roman in a battle as well. There you go. Some good on-track fights, and again, I think the top 3 might be pretty close too. Oh, we have some Joker action. There it is. Oh, and it's close. And that's huge. That's huge. I want to say that Soul taking his first. So now Detail and Soul are both one Joker down, and look at that. And look at the gap compared to where Luke was with Detail. It might be close for second place as well. Curious to see how this ends up when Soul takes his second Joker. And that's a brutal one in the downhill, because with where Detail ended up, if that downhill flip didn't happen, Luke could be in a position up front here. So this was a really well-timed move. Oh, okay, that's gonna hurt Soul. And I was talking about it too. Like that's the danger of that first part. I literally mentioned it a few minutes ago. I didn't even know that happened. I was waiting for this to happen to somebody. And Soul was having a good end of the lap right there. He got a little bit on Detail, but yeah, then a little too much. Detail goes in for his final Joker. Soul's gonna just stay out. And that's gonna... I think Soul had a legit shot at second place, but now with that flip, that might even it out with Luke, and that might give Luke the advantage for second place. And Detail right there, and again, Look at the gap, and you got to think like that flip from Soul, the flip from Luke, like there was opportunities for both of them, but Detail has just kept it on 4 wheels. He's kept it on 4 wheels, and it's led to him being in a really good position to potentially take the win here, and he's in control. At least when it comes to Luke behind him. So now Luke needs to force the pass. Whereas with Soul, Soul has technically a little bit of time here to gain some time with clean air. Oh, but Luke with a good beginning of the lap there and closes the gap. It's pretty close. This might not be over yet. Soul needs a really good lap too, and Soul's gonna hold it. Soul's gonna wait for the last lap. We're coming to the last lap here. Oh, look at this battle. This could be the battle for the win. And we have Soul taking the Joker. This could get spicy. Here we go. We're coming to the white flag at Sebring RX.
Lap complete.
Looking for the runs. Detail got a much better run, I want to say, in the final turn that time around compared to the last time, but Luke really good in the first turn. It's still pretty close. Oh, I think Luke had to hold it to not flip there. That's going to give Detail some time, and here comes Soul. Again, this is the final lap. Where does Soul blend in? Oh, it's still going to be pretty close. But Luke's just going to get out in front of him. Oh, unfortunate, man. The flips, yeah. Luke and Soul, I think, definitely had chances at this one, but they both had a flip. Detail did not. Kept it on 4 wheels, and he's going to keep it on 4 wheels all the way to the checkered. Going to take the win. Luke second, Soul third. Slaunch fourth, not too far off at the end. They started to come back into it. Roman fifth. And it's still close here for sixth, and it's going to be, looked like they're duking it out the whole time. It's going to be Blake, then Hunter. And then Camby eighth. iPod get 9th, and Coop 10th. Well, there you have it for Sebring. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, interesting strat race. RX races have been really good this season. This is another one that was pretty solid. Top 3 very close battling with each other. Some good different strategies, a few shakeups and crazy moments with a few of the wrecks, and even with that, still ended up being a really close race between them all the way to the end. So that was cool to see. Hogs putting on a decent show for their first showing of the season. But in the end, again, Detail, Luke, Soul, that's your podium. Congrats to Detail on the win. It's going to be his 6th on the season. Get some big points from that. Well, now we're going to go into a pure terrain race next on H4. So switching it up quite a bit from this one. See you guys there.